is thy bidding, my master?
I have no doubt. This boy is the offspring of Anakin Skywalker.
How is that possible?
Search your feelings, Lord Vader. You will know it to be true. He could destroy us.
He's just a boy. Obi-Wan can no longer help him.
The Force is strong with him. The son of Skywalker must not become a Jedi.
If he could be turned, he would become a powerful ally.
Yes. He would be a great asset. Can it be done?
He will join us or die, Master.
Now, where were we?
Luke examined the yellow kyber crystal of the saber, admitting to R2 that he didn't know much about them at all. At this point, Luke had recovered one of the sacred Jedi texts, but he was disappointed to see that the information it held about kyber crystals was all philosophy, describing how Jedi would go to Ilum to find crystals. Luke and R2 had traveled to Ilum once, shortly after his duel with Vader, only to find the planet completely under Imperial control. Luke realized that choosing a crystal and building a saber had been a rite of passage for the Jedi of the past. He thought that perhaps Yoda and Obi-Wan had never taught him any of this because he already had his father's lightsaber, but he realized that both that saber and his yellow one weren't really his, since he did not bond with the crystal or build the sabers himself. Igniting the yellow saber, he told R2 that he never felt a connection with the yellow crystal, and that the saber itself had been merely a good tool until now, nothing more. Now that the crystal was cracked, the saber barely worked and was highly unstable. Studying the Jedi text, Luke was frustrated to see that it had no instructions on how to actually build a saber. He realized that the first step was obtaining a new crystal before he could even consider building a new hilt, and the text mentioned other worlds where kyber could be found. Aside from needing a new saber, Luke also felt like he needed to take control of his own destiny, since his connection to the Force was disrupted and he found it difficult to continue his training. Setting out to find a new crystal, Luke and R2 traveled to Christophsis, which was under Imperial rule but without much of a physical presence. Landing outside a small mining town, Luke hoped to find crystal prospectors eager to sell their inventory. According to the Book of Jedi texts, Christophsis was one of the few places that kyber crystals could be found. However, they were still incredibly rare and the planet didn't have as much as Ilum. Luke told R2 that trading kyber was illegal in the Empire, but Lando had told him that there was still an active black market operating on Christophsis. Since the Empire didn't bother mining the kyber themselves on Christophsis, the local prospectors would sell whatever they found, and Luke hoped to obtain one by posing as a buyer. Handing his broken lightsaber to R2, Luke admitted that his plan wasn't very good, which is why R2 would be his backup if things went south. Entering a cantina, Luke ordered a drink and casually mentioned to the bartender that he was hoping to conduct business. He said that since Christophsis had a reputation for having some of the best gems available, he was hoping to source some rare pieces from the local prospectors. The bartender, very interested, leaned in and asked Luke what he was specifically looking for, and that he could point him in the right direction for a small fee. Luke repeated that he was looking for the rarest crystals, and the bartender quietly confirmed that he must want kyber. Suddenly, a blaster bolt flew through the bartender's chest. He watched as every patron in the bar was gunned down by a woman holding two blasters. She quickly dropped them, putting her hands up and asking him what he was going to do about it, and she knew his name. R2 rolled in behind her, and Luke quickly summoned his broken saber, ordering the woman to explain herself. She said that she had just saved his life and introduced herself as Greta. Luke noticed a blaster behind the bar, but was not yet convinced. Greta explained that the rumor that one could simply buy Kyber on Christophsis was a lie. The town really survived because the locals would simply capture anyone who came looking for Kyber and sell them to the Empire. When Luke asked why she saved him, she said that he was a Jedi, maybe the only Jedi. She explained that her and a few others still believed in the Jedi, and she suspected that Luke or another Jedi might come searching for crystals since Ilum was completely occupied. Luke was disappointed with her for killing the people in the bar, even if it was to save him, and he left to go find Kyber on his own. Greta quickly yelled that he was going the wrong way, and insisted that he let her help him. Luke replied that he didn't want her help, since the only thing he knew about her was that she was a killer. Greta explained that she was born on Jedha, and her family were all Falanasi, an order of Force users. When the Empire destroyed Jedha City 4 years earlier, they killed her entire family. She told Luke that when he destroyed the Death Star, he avenged her family's deaths and closed a hole in her heart. She asked him to let her repay the favor. Luke told R2 to go back to the ship and wait for him, and to tell the others where he was if he didn't return. As they sped away, Luke asked Greta about the Falanasi and if they used Kyber crystals themselves. She replied that they didn't, and the Falanasi hadn't been Force-sensitive for many generations, but they considered the Force to be a great mystery and wanted to understand it. She told Luke that they were looking for a man named Kuwata. She explained that when the Empire built the Death Star, they brought together the best minds who knew about Kyber to design it, and Kuwata was an academic researcher that specialized in Kyber. Kuwata had fled the Empire when his colleagues began disappearing, and came to Christophsis to hide and study Kyber. They soon found Kuwata, who politely asked Luke for his broken saber. When Luke asked why, Kuwata began speaking to the numerous Kyber crystals that hung around his neck, explaining that the crystals thought that Luke needed his help. Luke admitted that he did need help, and handed over the saber, which Kuwata quickly proceeded to dismantle so he could inspect the yellow crystal. He noted that the crystal was almost broken in half, and he assured Luke that he could somewhat repair it, but he would want something in return. Inside Kuwata's laboratory, he noted that Luke's saber seemed to be weirdly built, and Luke explained that both he and R2 had tinkered with it. Kuwata chastised him, explaining that fiddling with a lightsaber could cause it to explode. Luke explained that lightsaber maintenance wasn't part of his training, since he had to learn a lot in a little amount of time. Kuwata showed him the 5 main parts of the lightsaber: the power cell, the casing, the focusing lens, the emitter, and the crystal itself. He explained that the crystal was the key, and it focused not only the energy from the power cell but from the Force, and that a good connection to the user could allow the saber to feel like it was moving by itself. Greta asked Luke if he had ever felt anything like that, and he replied that he hadn't, with both of the sabers he had owned. Kuwata said that was because Luke had found the sabers, he had not chosen the crystals, and they had not chosen him. Luke explained that his first saber had belonged to his father, a great Jedi, which Kuwata admitted was better, but still not the same. Examining the cracked yellow crystal, he told Luke that he could somewhat fix it by diverting energy around the cracked part to make it more stable. He then pulled out a red crystal, which was what he wanted Luke for. Kuwata said that he had heard there was a way to pull the dark side out of red crystals through the Force, and he wanted Luke to do it for observation purposes. Luke was quick to point out that he had never even heard of anything like that, but Greta interjected that she had. She explained that the Falanasi had their own ritual for cleansing Kyber, which they had offered as a service after the fall of the Sith, and the Jedi Order had asked them to heal as many red crystals as possible. She told Luke that in order for a crystal to be made red, it had to be bled by a dark side user, who would pour their rage, pain, and fear into the crystal, leaving it in scarlet agony. To heal it, Luke would have to do the opposite, by using the light side and his own joy and hope to offset the pain that the bleeding caused. She warned that the process would be difficult, but Luke said that he would give it a try. Sitting down, he began to meditate on the red crystal. He suddenly found himself transported into some terrifying dimension, seemingly a world within the dark side itself. In the distance, he saw his father, Darth Vader, and then the vision flashed out and sent him back into the real world. Kawada eagerly asked Luke what he had seen with a clipboard in hand. Luke shakily replied that he had seen his father, which caused Kawada to wonder why a great Jedi would be inside a red crystal. Greta insisted that he leave Luke alone, and that he needed to fulfill his end of the bargain. Kawada agreed, but he gave Luke another crystal, one that was clear and raw, and asked Luke to try to connect with it. He assured Luke that the process should be much easier than with the red crystal, and Luke reluctantly sat down again, focusing on the clear crystal. He found himself face to face with Master Yoda. Luke said that he knew this vision wasn't real, but he asked Yoda why he had never answered when he would call out to him through the Force. He said that he had been trying to learn everything on his own and had been hurt, and asked why Yoda didn't help him. Yoda replied that all Jedi must walk their own path, and that Luke must know this or else he would have returned to Dagobah already for more training. He said that Luke must not have truly wanted to speak with him, or he would have. He told Luke that a great decision lay before him that had nothing to do with the Force or the Jedi. It was a decision that Luke needed to make about himself, and until he did, he could not be a Jedi. Luke grew agitated, telling Yoda that he always said so much without actually saying anything. Luke said that he would be fine without Yoda's help, and he said goodbye to his master. After Luke vanished, Obi-Wan's Force Spirit appeared, and Yoda asked for his thoughts. Obi-Wan said that after all Luke had learned, he was still not ready. Yoda replied that he was right, yet Luke had learned much and had still appeared to them, even if he didn't understand what he was doing. He said that when the time came, Luke would be ready. Emerging from the vision, Luke found the crystal in his palm, only now it was green. Kawada handed him the broken saber, saying that while it wasn't perfect, it should work until Luke decided to replace the crystal. Luke thanked him for fixing it, but said that he was leaving and taking the green crystal with him, since he would need to build his own lightsaber one day. Luke also took the red crystal, hopeful that he could learn more and one day heal it. Back at his X-Wing, Luke thanked Greta for her help, saying that he had learned things he never dreamed of. Greta told him that since she had helped him, she felt as though she had fulfilled the debt she owed her family, and would be leaving Christophsis. She asked Luke if he would be returning to the Alliance, and he replied that he would eventually, but holding the green crystal in one hand and the red in the other, he told her that he had some thinking to do.
Join me, and I will complete your training. With our combined strength, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order to the galaxy.
I'll never join you!
Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy as father and son. Come with me. It is the only way.
While recovering from his injuries and adjusting to his new cybernetic hand, Luke was approached by Lando. Noticing that Luke was training with a blaster, Lando correctly determined that Luke's abilities in the Force were temporarily complicated, and attempted to persuade him to return to Cloud City. He offered to help Luke find his lost lightsaber if he would convince the rebel leaders to allow their trip. At the mention of his saber, Luke suddenly found himself subjected to a vision through the Force, where he saw a mysterious hooded figure catch the lightsaber as it fell. In the vision, Luke saw glimpses of the past, present, and future, and he saw the mysterious woman residing on an unknown yet distinctive planet. Luke believed that he needed to step away from the rebellion in order to follow the visions, and he thought the Force itself was sending him towards the mysterious woman. He wondered if she could be a Jedi, and could answer the questions that he held after fighting Vader. Using his description from the vision, R2 was able to identify the planet that Luke saw, learning it was called Sorelia. When they arrived, Luke wondered if it was possible that his lightsaber had ended up on this planet somehow, however unlikely that may be. He told R2 that whatever the Force wanted him to do on Sorelia, he would have to just let it happen. Landing near the coastline, they discovered a busy marina full of fishing boats at the piers. Luke spotted the woman that he believed he had seen in his vision, cautiously approaching her and introducing himself. He said that he thought the Force sent him to her, and hesitantly asked if she was a Jedi. Immediately, the mystery woman unloaded her catch of fish, dropping them onto Luke and fleeing in her speeder. Recovering from the diversion, Luke and R2 commandeered a speeder of their own and gave chase across the water. Luke actually enjoyed driving the aquatic speeder, since it was the complete opposite of his experiences on Tatooine. However, due to his inexperience, their speeder quickly capsized on a rogue wave, as the woman ran ashore and fled into a nearby cave. Luke and R2 surfaced in the water, swimming to shore as Luke remarked how much he loved sand. At the mouth of the cave, Luke was reminded of his trial in the Cave of Evil on Dagobah, and he cautiously wondered what could possibly be waiting for them inside, since he no longer had a lightsaber and he had just lost his blaster in the ocean. Taking a step inside, Luke accidentally activated a booby trap, pushing R2 out of the way with the Force just in time. Pressing onward, Luke relied on the Force to guide him, motivating himself by remembering his training with Yoda. He was successful in dodging other traps that lay in their path, until he leapt onto an unstable patch of ground, which crumbled and dropped him into a large pit. Metal bars snapped shut over the pit's opening, trapping Luke inside as bubbling water began to rush in from below. Wasting no time, Luke began attempting to hold back the rising water with the Force. As he did, trying to focus, the woman appeared above him, mocking his attempt to hold back the sea. As Luke strained with effort, she asked him what he wanted and why he had found her. Through gritted teeth, Luke explained again that he had seen her in a vision through the Force and that he was training to be a Jedi like her. She responded that she was not a Jedi, and anyone who wanted to be was a fool. Pressing a button on the wall, she deactivated the trap, causing the water to release as Luke slumped with exhaustion. Removing her hood, the woman complimented Luke on his strength in the Force, saying that he was obviously stronger than she was, and that she could sense he was telling the truth about his intentions. She introduced herself as Verla, and she mentioned Jedi hunters. Luke had never heard of any hunters before, which caused Verla to remark that he was more in over his head than she thought. Verla asked if he ever wondered why there weren't more Jedi in the galaxy, and she assumed that whoever had told Luke about the Jedi didn't mention the Inquisitors or the Jedi Purge. Solemnly, as if mourning the past, Verla told Luke how, at the end of the Clone Wars, Emperor Palpatine took control of the Republic and declared the entire Jedi Order to be traitors. Palpatine issued Order 66, and most Jedi, including Padawans and younglings, died that day in the Jedi Purge. She continued, explaining how powerful Darksiders known as the Inquisitorius were sent out to hunt Jedi survivors, and that they were led by Darth Vader. Distracted by her story, Verla didn't notice R2-D2 approach from behind, and he shocked him into unconsciousness and released Luke from the pit. Much later, she awoke to find herself restrained at a campfire as Luke cooked dinner. Luke introduced himself by his full name, and Verla recognized the name Skywalker, saying that she was aware that was Vader's name before he fell to the dark side. Almost desperately, Luke asked if she knew anything about Anakin. Verla explained that the Jedi Master Farron Barr had known that Anakin became Vader, and told her that Anakin was once a great hero of the Clone Wars, but she didn't know what caused him to become Vader. Focusing again on why he was there, Luke repeated that he saw Verla holding out a lightsaber to him in his vision, and asked if she had one that she was willing to give him. She replied that she didn't, but she did know where he could find one, before insisting that Luke didn't want to be a Jedi. She told Luke that she had been tasked with becoming a Jedi herself by Farron Barr, and she had spent most of her life running from Vader and the Inquisitors before deciding to abandon becoming a Jedi altogether. She warned Luke that the Force was a trap that chewed people up and used them for its own purposes, regardless of light or dark. Verla implored Luke to reconsider becoming a Jedi, insisting that he didn't need to do what the Force wanted him to do, and that the path he was on would tear him apart. While Luke assured her that he understood what she was saying, he reminded her that the galaxy was suffering, and that he needed to try to help no matter the danger. Realizing that Luke could not be deterred from the path of the Jedi, she sent him to an old outpost from the High Republic era located on the planet Tempest, and the two parted ways. Arriving on the stormy, lightning-covered planet Tempest, Luke and R2 made their way to the old Jedi outpost. Some of its spires were crumbled, yet it remained mostly intact, and Luke was able to open the doors with the Force, as the symbol of the Jedi glowed brightly against the stone. Inside, Luke was shocked to see many relics of the past, like a holocron on a pedestal, temple guard armor, and crumbled statues of ancient masters. To his left, Luke noticed a lightsaber resting on another pedestal and claimed it, announcing that he would indeed become a Jedi with this new weapon. The interior of the outpost suddenly darkened around him as a flaming specter appeared behind him in the form of the Grand Inquisitor. Though killed long ago, the spirit somehow remained in the outpost. Luke had no idea who this figure was. As the Grand Inquisitor, still engulfed in ghostly flames, attacked, he gloated that he once served the Jedi, then he served Vader, and now he killed anyone who sprung the trap that Vader created. Luke, igniting the yellow saber that was now his, rebutted that he would never kill another Jedi again. The two engaged in a lightsaber duel, as the Grand Inquisitor taunted Luke's abilities and lack of training in the Force. Luke initially found himself overwhelmed, having no experience fighting against a double-bladed saber staff. As the fight continued, Luke drew upon the strength of the artifacts around him, the remnants of the lost Jedi Order, and gained the upper hand. Motivated by what he believed the Jedi once stood for, Luke was able to sever the Grand Inquisitor's hand, and then slash the Spectre cleanly in half, causing him to dissipate in a shower of flames. Returning to the Rebel fleet, Luke told Leia that he had found what he was looking for and more. Leia asked him to show her and the other rebels whatever it was that he had found, as the rebellion itself was on the verge of extinction. Though he was hesitant at first, Luke listened to Leia's insistence, igniting his new saber before the crew, instilling hope and inspiring them to continue the fight against the Empire.
I'm back, Master. I gave my word I'd return and finish my training.
Word you gave? Promises easy to make, they are. But to keep them, a different matter it is.
My friends were in danger, Master. I had to help them. I couldn't just sit here in a swamp and do nothing while they suffered.
Spoke the soldier, but the Jedi? Where is he, A choice you must face. To lead an army, do you seek or master the Force?
Can't it be both?
Divided your mind is. To be a Jedi, focus you must. Your weapon you have lost, you say?
I've got a new lightsaber, Master. I have everything I need.
To hold a lightsaber a Jedi makes you not. Many have wielded such a blade and lost themselves to the dark side of the Force. Travel to Tatooine you must. There you will find everything that you need.
I will return to finish the training, Master. I promise.
But first, your friends need your help, they do. Help them you must.
But I thought you said I had to choose.
An old fool I am, yes, but not so stubborn as to ignore the truth before my eyes. Perhaps a new path you found. Remember this you should.
Leah. Any news?
Nothing. I just came to ask for your help one last time.
I'm sorry. Wish I could help you, Leah, but we simply don't have the resources to spare.
I understand. But we won't stop looking.
But there might be something we can do.
Such as?
You were right, Captain. IG-88 is down in the junkyard outside the city of Ord Mantell.
I told you Princess Leia hired the right guy, Leebo. I bet that droid knows exactly where Fett is. Supposedly he tried to snatch Solo from him, but got the short end of the stick. Me and IG-88 are gonna have a little chat. Come in, Leebo. Did the scanners find IG-88's exact location?
Yes, sir. A salvage plant at the far end of the junkyard. A train drives through the junkyard and leads to the loading door. The door is closed, but if you reach the train's engine core, I can shut off the auto brake remotely and easily crash the train through the door.
Easy, you say?
I'm ready!
Disabling auto brake. Brace for impact, Captain.
I've been monitoring you, Captain Rendar. You are correct to assume that only I could lead you to Boba Fett. However, as you can see, you are outmatched.
Sounds like you've got your wires crossed. I'd have that checked out if I were you.
As there's a 0% probability that you will survive this encounter, I see no risk in informing you that I have tracked my esteemed competitor to the Gaul system, where he will soon lose Captain Solo to me. Now I must conclude this interruption. You will detain me no further.
What took you so long?
Your meeting with the Emperor went according to plan, Prince Xizor.
I promised 300 ships for His Majesty's construction project on Endor, and I bowed and scraped to every one of Lord Vader's demands. You've informed Jabba's bounty hunters that Lord Vader's order to capture Luke Skywalker alive has now been changed.
Yes. And no one will know that the new order to kill Skywalker came from you.
Excellent. My hand must not be detected in this. Vader will surely suffer the Emperor's wrath when he fails to deliver Skywalker as promised. Soon, the power I will attain will bring limitless opportunities.
Indeed.
Hey, Chewie. Just a few more adjustments and I'm done. Of course I'm tagging along. He's family. We'll get him back, Chewie. One way or another. No. You and Lando take the Falcon. I'll be right behind you.
All right. We'll meet Rendar at these coordinates. Fett's likeliless coordinates put him on the moon of Gal.
We'll have to avoid that Imperial starport somehow.
Don't worry. We got it all planned out. The moon's canyon should give us enough cover to fly in undetected.
I hope you know what you're doing. Both of you.
Yeah, me too.
Lord Vader. We've located Boba Fett. Solo is still with him.
Good. The rebels will attempt to rescue Captain Solo. Skywalker is with them. Set your course to the Gaul system.
Yes, my lord.
All right, just as we discussed. Dash, you lure the Imp Patrol away from the starport while I slip past the perimeter, land, and take out Boba Fett. He's dangerous. I'll deal with him. Lando, Leia, you just wait for my signal.
You got the best man for the job, kid. Don't worry.
May the Force be with you, Luke.
Turrets are online, Captain Rendar.
aircraft! Blast him!
Stop rocking the ship so hard I can't aim!
Alright, Lebo, show me what you got!
Eat this, imp slime! We should probably leave.
Alright, we got their attention.
You're persistent. I'll give you that. Put down the glowing stick, kid.
Hand over Captain Solo. Now.
I'd think twice before trying anything foolish. Skywalker.
Hand him over. This is not worth dying for.
Finally. Something we can agree on.
That's not good. Sorry, Lando, but this job just got too expensive.
The coward!
Who do those ships belong to, Admiral?
Black Sun Syndicate, my lord.
Dispatch fighters and eliminate them. I need Skywalker alive.
Yes, my lord.
R2, can you get me more power?
Luke, come with me, son.
Father.
Only together can we destroy him, Luke. It is your destiny.
Get out of here, Luke!
There's only one place he could have gone, now that the entire guild is looking for him.
Jabba?
And it looks like someone put a hefty price on Luke's head, too.
Luke is headed to Tatooine. He's sticking to the plan. We need to figure out who's out to get him.
I know just the place.
Lord Vader, what an unexpected surprise.
Prince Shizor. Is there something you want to tell me?
I'm not sure I understand, my lord.
It would be quite unfortunate if I found out that you have been conspiring behind the Emperor's back. I advise you to tread carefully.
I can assure you, my lord, that both you and the Emperor have my undying loyalty.
I hope so, Prince Shizor. For your sake.
Hello, old friend. All right. Let's get to work.
Don't test my patience. The bounty on my head was a cheap move, Jabba. You're welcome. Very much appreciated. I'll need a room. I have the information you wanted. The order to capture Skywalker alive has indeed been changed. By whom, it is unknown to me.
Skywalker and his friends will attempt to free Solo. When he comes, you must ensure that no harm comes to him.
You can consider it done.
Skywalker was spotted at Kenobi's old place. Jabba will pay extra to the ones who blast his bones. Let's fry him!
Interesting.
Shizor has a job for you.
Minno bata bargon Shizor.
Chewie, you stay here. I don't want 3PO to wander around.
Guri? Check over there.
General Organa? General Calrissian?
Just Lando is fine, sweetheart.
So, what can I do for you, darling?
Darling?
Lando and I go way back.
Someone put out a hit on Luke Skywalker. I'm sure you know him.
Yes, his is a well-known name in our circles. And among the Imperials.
Yeah.
I'm suspecting that Vader wants Luke alive for some reason.
So no, it's not the Empire.
Prince Shizor knows everything and everyone in this city. I can get you an audience.
How generous. But we can't just stroll up to the front gate without someone selling us out to the Empire.
You won't have to. Wait here.
Something's off with your girlfriend, Lando. I don't trust her.
She's not my girlfriend.
This is a bad idea. Shizor is in league with the Empire. How do we know we're not walking into a trap?
Don't worry. We're not going in without a plan.
You ready?
What the?
Holy sh...
The repulsor lift stabilizers are on the south pylon cluster. You can see the housing units right there. If Leia gives a signal, we take those out, and the whole north wing starts pulling against itself.
State your business. Ah, bounty hunter. This way.
You have something, Admiral Piet.
The sum of the contract the guild members received is considerable. Whoever wants him dead is not short of resources.
The Black Sun fighters. Have you traced their origin?
Ord Mantell, my lord. However, a transmission was sent from Coruscant shortly before the fighters were dispatched.
Set a course, Admiral. I wish to pay Prince Shizor a visit.
Ah, Princess. I was under the impression that your friends would be joining us.
They had other plans.
Something to drink?
How kind of you. But no thank you, I'm good.
So, the Alliance might be interested in doing business with Black Sun?
Not the Alliance. Me.
A personal favor? I'm sure we can find a way for you to compensate me. I'm sure the Princess of Alderaan has more to offer than credits.
Chewie! You done?
That helmet. It does you a disservice, Princess. I simply want to see you. Is that so terrible? There she is. Give me one night, Princess, and I will hand you the name you came here for. Every single detail. Come on, Princess. Just one night.
I knew it was you, Shizor. You want him dead. You want the Emperor's favor. And the fastest way to get it is to make sure Vader fails. I imagine he's already on his way here. What will it be, Prince Shizor?
I have run out of patience, Guri. Where is he? Speak, you useless droid. Where is he? Tell me.
like to take this matter up with the Emperor.
I speak for the Emperor.
If you kill me, you lose my ships and the construction will come to a halt.
You will leave Skywalker alone. This is my final warning.
Fine. And don't worry. Your secret is safe with me. Skywalker.
What a forsaken place this is. Why couldn't that bounty hunter have taken Captain Solo to a more pleasant environment? We're leaving. But what about Master Luke? I thought he was going to rescue Captain Solo. You mean we're going to that horrible fortress alone? We're doomed.
Luke!
Hey, any news from Lando?
He's okay. Apparently, Jabba's furious. Word just got back to him that the bounty on you was pulled.
I can't thank you enough.
You can thank me by getting Han out of this forsaken place.
We'll get him, Leia. I promise.
Come on, I'll make you a tea.
Rise, my child.
What is my next task, my master?
Lord Vader's devotion to finding young Skywalker has become a distraction for all of us. I have a gift for you, my child. A chance to prove your loyalty to me once and for all. Go to Tatooine, find Skywalker, and end him.
As you wish, my Emperor. I've come to see Jabba. I have something that will make him very happy.
Nobata Boska. Kunayani Magunta.
Your master is expecting me. You must take me to him.
Akuta Jitaki Nakpa Uba. Bebe Chuta. Jipaki Mucha. Kavachikta Ji Nagula.
I'll collect his bounty now. 15,000, I believe.
Nagula Mucha. Bidanki Uba Mulira. Kuna Nagula. Uba Taki. Udumaji.
What do you think you're doing here?
Do I know you?
No, but I know you. And if you do anything stupid, Jabba will too. I suggest you leave, or you're gonna get us both killed.
Fine. But he dies today, one way or another.
Having no knowledge of where to find or build a new one, Luke returned to Tatooine, searching for knowledge in the old hut of Obi-Wan Kenobi. The hut was a small structure on the edge of the Dune Sea, and he discovered that Obi-Wan had not left much behind. The most valuable thing that remained was an old boa wood trunk, the contents of which included an ancient leather-bound book. The thumbprint clasp attached to the book had accepted Luke's right thumb to unlock it, and he discovered a small explosive rigged inside. If anyone else had attempted to open the book, it would have burst into flames. Somehow, Obi-Wan had known that Luke would find the book, and prepared it so that only he could open it. Luke found that amazing. The pages of the book contained all kinds of knowledge that a Jedi student would need, such as plans for building a lightsaber. According to the book, the best lightsabers used natural crystals. However, it was impossible for Luke to find one on Tatooine. During the reign of the Empire, the Imperials made great efforts to destroy the last remaining resources of the Jedi Order, banning all crystals capable of being used in lightsabers. The Empire overtook, destroyed, and shut down the sites that possessed crystals naturally, so Luke was forced to fabricate a synthetic crystal. He had managed to collect most of the electronic and mechanical parts he needed in Mos Eisley, such as power cells, controls, and a high-energy reflector cup. Ideally, the best lightsabers contained 3 crystals, consisting of different densities and facets, in order to produce a fully adjustable blade. However, since it was his first attempt at building a lightsaber, Luke decided to simplify the weapon as much as possible, opting to use only 1 crystal. Using a small furnace, Luke fabricated the crystal, cooking it at incredible heat and pressure. He had no idea how long the entire process took, but it had taken him a month to get to the point of creating the crystal itself. Once it was finished, he would be able to cut and mold it, and tune it to the conditions of the hilt.
I am most displeased, Lord Vader.
Cheeto was a traitor.
I will tolerate your disobedience no longer. Now go and fix the mess you have made of my plan.